Yep.
Welcome back, students. We are going to do compound interest right now. Remember the lesson from Tuesday and Wednesday, well that's today, on compound interest. I'm going to tell you a really short story, and then you get to use that to talk about the grandmother on her word problems. I think it was 279, and also talk about the bank problem that we talked about accumulating annual compound interest. So the word compound is the most important piece, because compound means you sort of keep adding on to what you already had. And the word interest, remember, that's sort of like if I loaned my best friend $10, then she's going to pay me back that $10 plus more money as for her to do the favor. Okay, so that would be considered interest. I'm going to pay you back the money I owe you plus some more money at a certain percentage because you did me the favor of loaning me the money. So we're going to talk about compound interest. Let's say that I loan my friend $10. So we'll start with something very simple and small. So I lent my friend $10, but I gave her 3 years to pay it back at 10% compound interest. So we're going to talk about what that means and how to solve that problem. So after year one, I know that my friend owes me $10 plus 10% interest. Now remember, from the mall field trip, we all know how to find out what is 10% of $10, sort of like when we did those discounts at the mall. So I'm going to come over here and just do my little calculations over here. So I'm going to do $10 times, and remember 10%, we want to turn that to a decimal by moving the decimal back 2 places, so that becomes 10 hundredths. And I'm going to multiply it out just like you normally would. So 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0, and 0 times 1 is 0. Come down to the next column, everything gets multiplied by 1. 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 0, 0, 1 times 0, 0, 1 times 1 is 1. We add all our numbers together. Remember, when we multiply decimals, we multiply as if there were no decimals. We'll figure out where to put the decimal in the end. 0 plus 0, 0. We know these are all going to be zeros. And 1 plus nothing is 1. Now, when I go back to my problem, however many numbers fall behind the decimal, that's how many numbers I want to move over in my answer. So I counted 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. So I start at the end, because if we multiply it originally as a whole number, and I come back 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where our decimal goes right there, and this is money because we're talking 10% of $10. So 10% of $10 is $1. And you could have done the alternative if you wanted to divide. That's another alternative. So at the end of year one, she's going to owe $10 plus $1. Let me not forget my dollar sign, which equals a total of $11 after year one. Very simple. Here comes year two. Remember, I gave my friend 3 years to pay me back at 10% compound interest, so we're going to figure out the interest for year two. Now, at the end of year two, she has to pay an additional 10%. This 10% is not paid on the original $10, because how much does she owe now? The new amount that she owes after year one, you're right, was $11. So we're going to pay this 10% on $11. That's the new amount. So I'm going to do the shortcut version. We all know how to multiply 10%. Instead of doing 10% of 10, I'm going to do 10% of 11. Shortcut would be anytime you're multiplying anything times 10%, it's as easy as moving that decimal back 1 decimal place. So 10% of $11 is $1.10. And if you want to multiply it out just like we did with our $10 here, it would give you the same answer, $1.10. So at the end of year two, $11 was the new amount that she owed, including that compound interest of $1.10 is going to give her a total of $12.10. Here's year three. I hope you can see the trend here, that each time we're adding interest to the new amount and not the original amount. That's why we call it compound interest. It keeps building as we keep going. So the end of year 3, she owes $12.10. Again, she has to pay 10% interest year 3, but on that new amount. So it's times 10%. We know that by moving the decimal back 1 decimal place, that's going to take us 10%. That gives us what the amount would be if it were 10%, sorry. So 10% of $12.10 is $1.21. So at the end of year 3, we're going to add on $12, sorry, let me erase, $12.10 plus the interest after year 3, which now comes to $1.21. So if we add that together, I'm just going to do my little addition problem over here, just like you would if you were at home. $12.10 plus $1.21. 1 plus 0, 1. 2 plus 1, 3. You bring your decimal down. 2 plus 1, 3. And 1 plus nothing is 1. So at the end of 3 years, she would have to pay me back $13.31. So of course, if let's say we decided to go to year 4. Year 4 would be 10% on what amount? You're right, 10% on $13.31, because each year you're paying that 10% on the new amount. So please replay this video, back it up. You can use any set of numbers you want, but understand that compound interest means you pay the same percent, but on the new amount each time. Year 1, we paid it on $10. Year 2, we paid it on $11. Year 3, we paid it on $12.10. So I hope you can look at this video. I hope it's useful to you. Thank you for watching.